What's good, Humble Squad? It's your boy Humble Ziggy. We back here with another reaction for y'all, and we got a video here called "How Bad Was Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson?" Now, shout out to Koister. Hopefully I said your name right and such. And look, all I can say is if you peep my other reaction, I think I said it in one of my reactions where the way how that fight went, it was 8 rounds of just dancing. Nothing more, nothing less. Like, come on now. You should have known from whenever it's like a Jake Paul type fight or so, we should have known there was gonna be some BS and such going on. Cause in the training videos of how both of them were, with Jake Paul, his was something else. His was alright, I guess. But with Mike Tyson, when you saw those training videos he was doing, and especially the slap that he gave him on that press conference or so, you thought, oh, Mike Tyson's finna kill this boy. And then when the fight came out, all they was doing was just jucking and jiving. There was certain little punches, but there was mostly moving around like it's a freaking merry-go-round. Like, it was just so. But let's see how Koister put it. So we better check this out. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all my socials up there. And without further ado, let's get it.
Alright fellas, well that basically just went as expected. We just saw Mike Tyson return to the ring against Jake Paul in their highly anticipated bout. In my last video I talked about how we all needed to come back down to reality a bit, and I think that's exactly what we saw here, a reality check. In what was a perfect case study in effective marketing, we saw a bloke who, although I would give him his flowers for getting in there, shouldn't have been in the ring at all. It was a disgrace that this fight was actually sanctioned by a professional body. So I want to talk about the fight week, the fight itself, and really where do we go from here? What an event like this means for boxing. And just before we get into that, if you love everything boxing, you've found yourself in the right place. I'm Cloister and I make boxing videos to help keep you in the loop, so make sure to subscribe to always stay informed. The fight between Jake and Tyson I don't think will be remembered for the fight, more so as a masterclass in marketing. Everyone including...
Like, bro, that's what I'm saying. The way how it was all marketed and such. From, especially like I said, I don't know about, for me, I don't know much about the marketing and whatnot. All I know is when I was seeing those training videos with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson looked like he was such a beast in his, where it looked like he was gonna kill this dude, gonna knock him out. Cause everybody was hoping that Mike Tyson just knocks out this fool. But there had to be something.
Stay informed. The fight between Jake and Tyson I don't think will be remembered for the fight, more so as a masterclass in marketing. Everyone, including myself, was excited to see Tyson get back in the ring, yet the concept of reality and time seemed to evade quite a few. In the lead up for the fight, we all saw the clips of Tyson.
That's what I was saying.
To do, record and cut up 15-second clips of pad work and sparring to make him look like the Mike of old. It brings a lot of eyes and it brings hope. And I think going into fight week, it was clear that
look at him. You cannot deny it. At 58 years old, almost 60, look at how this nigga looks. Still looks like a tank. Literally. Could you imagine a motherfucker looking 58 years old and he looks like this? He look like he could murder your ass. Not like literally murder, but like in a ring.
When uploading my last video, I had the upload screen on one page and the public workouts on the other. In watching the public workouts, I think that was when what a lot of us feared really rung home. After a minute of pad work, Tyson looked tired and out of breath. No amount of gasping from his coach could convince us otherwise. It was clear the footage we were seeing didn't match up with reality. At the next press conference, Tyson looked out of it and not interested. Which, fair enough, the bloke's been doing media for the last couple months. I think most
I
of us
mean, okay.
too. The way
Yeah.
he showed both of them in good enough shape, and of course brought that iconic slap, which was nice to see, but
Yeah.
didn't really mean nothing except producing probably the best photo from the whole event. And then that brought us to Fight Night. I won't talk too much about the undercard, and let me know if you want to see any in-depth videos about any of the other fights.
Yeah, I wasn't
Yeah,
even.
my highlight.
That's the thing too. When it comes to these like big fights, fields and such, like these big, you can say dream matches or such. Most of the times, the undercard respects to the other fighters who are there, but 9 times out of 10, people ain't going. Well, it depends on who the undercard are, who's like in the undercard. But realistically, nobody's gonna concern themselves about that. They want to look to the main event. So it is what it is. If you was on the undercard, sorry,
To the whole event
but
were the
we
two
didn't care.
fights before the main event. Ramos put up a great performance against Barrios, pushing the fight to a draw. A great fight for the fans, which I hope will see a rematch. While also the co-main, which truly should have been the main event, Taylor vs Serrano 2 brought all the action. In what was the best fight that you could make currently in women's boxing? I would say close result yes, robbery no. Personally, I would have had Serrano up by a round, but you look at some of the fan scoring on BoxRec, even they have it as a draw. Yet the commentators were simply horrendous, making it seem like Katie lost every single round in the way they called it a robbery. They simply undermined her victory. You can't expect much more. They're MVP commentators and Serrano is MVP's pride and joy. MVP, of course, being the promotional company putting on the show. But no matter how you have it, it was simply a win for women's boxing and boxing as a whole, unlike the main event. In my last video, I talked about how I'd be...
The fact that one of your undercard matches was more like a main event than the main event, that just says something right then and there.
Like the main event. In my last video, I talked about how I'd be looking at Tyson's balance from the get-go, and I think that told the whole story. Jake in the first couple rounds was incredibly cautious because obviously he didn't know what sort of Tyson was going to come out. It was clear though when Jake hit him with a couple punches, he almost stumbled. His legs simply weren't there anymore.
Yeah,
the
cause
Paul camp really from this point played politics. They probably had a few different game plans going in. If Tyson was going to come out and actually fight, they would have put it on him. Yet if he came out looking not so great, they had a plan for that also. Although it was Jake's mission to become the most hated man in the sport again, knocking out this Mike Tyson would have been more of a PR disaster than it was worth. Not all attention is good attention at that level. Tyson's...
Because look, at the end of the day, people were still ragging on him whether he won or whether he lost. It's basically this. What good does it make that... Because honestly, let's be honest. What good does it make? On one hand, if you would have, like, before the match, before we got the outcome that we got, on one hand, if you would have won, nigga, you won against somebody who's who's almost 60. Even though he's a legend, but still, he's in his 60s. You're not fighting nobody who's in your age group, right? Even if you won. But on the other hand, if he lost, nigga, you was an embarrassment. I'm just saying. Or not even that. If you would have lost, people would have said finally. But either way you look at it, it was just sad to see Mike. It was just sad to see how Mike Tyson was in that, man. And we always giving his respects, no matter what. We always gonna give his respects. And plus, he was biting every single time in those 8 rounds. He was biting on his gloves, like. And the commentators were saying, one of the commentators was saying about how all the times in his fight, he's always biting on his glove. To my knowledge, I don't ever, and y'all can correct me down in the comments below, but I don't ever remember in any boxer biting their glove during a match, during the fight. Because unless Mike Tyson was feeling like this was Evander Holyfield again, or whoever he bite his ear off, that guy who he bite his ear off, you feel like it was that again. Was it him? Hold on. Before y'all roast me in the comments, hold on. Because I was gonna say Evander Holyfield. Let me correct myself before. Hold on. Yeah, Evander Holyfield. I was right. He thought it was Evander Holyfield again, where he was gonna the way how he was biting on that glove, like, nigga. I don't know
But
why he
Paul
was
Cam
even
really
doing
from this
that.
point played politics. They probably had a few different game plans going in. If Tyson was going to come out and actually fight, they would have put it on him. Yet if he came out looking not so great, they had a plan for that also. Although it was Jake's mission to become the most hated man in the sport again, knocking out this Mike Tyson would have been more of a PR disaster than it was worth. Not all attention is good attention at that level. Tyson's movement was gone. He didn't have the ability to angle or close the distance. He stayed stationary and threw a couple shots whenever Jake got close. A lot of people were questioning also why he was biting his gloves. It was simply instinct
See?
as he used to do it. It was a bit more normal though
I
when he
don't know
followed up
why.
with a few punches. Not as
See, I wasn't the only one. Like, why he always keep biting his
normal when
gloves?
he's just standing there eating his gloves. It's a credit to Tyson for him getting back in the ring. Although the questions and fingers have to be pointed to everyone which allowed this to happen. You have to give Jake Paul some props for not being stupid enough to knock him out, but surely everyone who said that this Tyson looked amazing in sparring was lying through their teeth. Like to much of Tyson's career, were the people who were enabling this just there to get their payday? I'll let you decide. Where do we go now though? Let's first talk Tyson. Simply, I don't want to see him back in the ring ever again.
Yeah, at that
He's got
point,
more in the tank after the fight, and to be honest,
yeah, if you look, where we go from here now on, Tyson, we still want to keep the memory of you being a badass when you were still in the ring. We don't want you to ever bring up this fight ever again. Just don't. You can talk about the ear biting one from Evander and such, all the other ones all you want. But never talk about this again. And the fact that he even said that he wants to fight Logan Paul, and Logan Paul with his egotistical ass going to talk about how, bro, I would murder you. I don't even want to give a comment to that, because I could just be putting my foot, but then again, hey, it's basically like this. If it were to ever happen, I want Mike Tyson. If you were to ever want to fight Logan Paul, do not hold back. Really wham it on this nigga. Right? Really wham it on him, right? If it were to ever happen. And second of all, we still want to keep our memory of you being one of the greatest in boxing history. We want to keep it that, because we don't want you to go back in the ring because of this shit. Because you look great in your physical shape, but when it comes to like and granted, he was moving and jiving and such in there, but he wasn't really in that nigga. We wanted to see some real gut shots and such. Like, we wanted to knock his lights
but
out.
surely everyone who said that this Tyson looked amazing in sparring was lying through their teeth. Like to much of Tyson's career, were the people who were enabling this just there to get their payday? I'll let you decide.
Who knows? Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't.
Let's first talk Tyson. Simply, I don't want to see him back in the ring ever again. He said he feels like he's got more in the tank after the fight, and to be honest, anyone would feel that after the check he just got. Although nobody wants to see him in there with someone like Logan Paul.
I don't know.
In the interview, Logan could have been just a bit humble when Mike said he's next. Yet in classic Logan fashion, he just can't resist being a bit of a prick.
Yeah,
if Tyson wants to fight again, it has to be something closer to the Roy Jones exhibition, where it's him versus someone similar in age and it's just a bit of fun. Nothing with true serious potential consequences. But preferably...
Yeah, because I remember they doing this one and such, and from my knowledge, I don't think I remember watching it. I don't remember watching it, but I did remember people were saying about how it was good. It was a good exhibition and such. Both legends in the game doing their thing. So if I were to see Mike Tyson back in the ring again, it would have to be somebody of his age and such, and of his kind of standard, you can say. Because if he were to go back and, like I said, if he were to go back and fight Logan Paul, Jake Paul's brother, yeah, Mike, no, but at this point, nobody even wants to. Not saying you won't still get your respects, but nigga, Don't talk about going back in the fight again. Not gonna mess with you. Still, I would never want to even get in the ring with this man because he will he will probably bite my ear off and shit. But it is what it is.
Nothing with true serious potential consequences. But preferably, I just want to see him healthy, not in the ring and enjoying his life with his family. For Jake though, it's a bit more interesting. Although this was a huge event, I don't think this raises his stock at all.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
Next will certainly be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if he enters the PFL and has an MMA fight. Probably the biggest check he would get, and it would give some time for people to forget about this fight. In terms of other boxing opponents, there's not too many out there. There's not really any MMA fighters left. No one wants to see him against a journeyman, and I don't think anyone would want to see him in the ring against another retired fighter again. There are only a few possibilities that immediately come to mind. Of course, you have
Conor McGregor,
Tommy Fury, although rumor on the street is that they're going to rematch soon, and if that happens, both parties.
I mean, hell, even I hear that some are even saying that they want KSI to knock this nigga Jake Paul out. Cause granted, even though KSI has a deal with Logan and such, has like a prime deal with Logan, you don't have a prime deal with Jake's and such. So he wants to knock. They want him to knock this nigga out too. So who knows? We might see that.
Tommy Fury, although rumor on the street is that they're going to rematch soon, and if that happens, both parties are off the table. While additionally, those fights have been historically almost borderline impossible to make anyway. You have MVP stableman Niraj Goyat, who is on the undercard, yet Niraj is fighting at 164 pounds, and after his performance, no one wants to see that. MVP should be smart enough to look at that performance and go, nah, that's not it. What I think there's some potential in is a matchup against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Jake will drop down to cruiserweight or bridgerweight. Chavez is technically active although washed up, and it would be framed as Paul is finally versing a real boxer. And in this world of boxing, I wouldn't be surprised if somehow it's for a bridgerweight world title. The belt organizations love their sanctioning fees, and that would make them a lot of money in a division which is bringing none. But to end this off though, this was far from a glamorous performance at the end of the day.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Struck, and although it didn't end as badly as many of us were bracing for, I think it needs to be questioned, how did this fight pass so many checks to actually happen? Obviously, people knew that Tyson wasn't truly fit to fight a professional fight, and why did they allow this to happen? I hope there's not too much of a review.
It has to be the money, that's why.
Fight. Yet I know many who were peddling a false narrative which they knew deep down wasn't right and were misleading their audience probably will. Yet, I guess that's what you gotta kinda expect. Anyways, I want to now hear what you think about this fight as a whole. I want to hear it all. Or your anger, your relief, or maybe your joy as a Jake Paul fan. I don't know. Let me know.
Yeah, right, please.
Below. Yet, thanks for watching, fellas. And
fan
I'll
is
catch you in the next one.
Jake Paul fan is crazy. Yeah, right, please. But hey man, shout out to Koister for this video, man. Y'all make sure go subscribe to him and such. Give him a like right there and such. But yeah, case in point, Mike Tyson, like he just said, I would make sure you don't go back to the ring because we want to keep you healthy and such. Make sure you be with your family and whatnot because at the end of the day, that ring ain't worth it. You got your YouTube channel with your lot of subscribers on it and such, and your podcast, so stick to that. That's all I'm saying. You can still tell, because we still want, like I said, we still want to keep our memories of you being like the greatest boxer, the greatest human and whatnot and such. So, not saying he wasn't the greatest human, but we just want to keep our memories of you when it comes to in the boxing ring. Keep it as one of the good memories and some great memories of you in there. But hey, y'all let me know what y'all thought about this down in the comments below. Like I said, what do y'all think about this? Will you ever see Mike Tyson back in the ring again? Will Jake Paul actually fight a real fighter and such? Comment down below, cause the fact that I see that he wants to start now fighting Conor McGregor, boy, Conor, and plus Conor ain't old, so Conor McGregor, if you could, please, if he were to ever accept it, please, do not try to get a bite, do not get payoff, and just don't try to really knock his, do this, take the money and knock his lights out, please. But yeah, it's been your boy Humble Ziggy signing out. Stay positive and keep the vibes up. I'm out.